Did you know that just one wrong transport you make of your refrigerator, you can damage it and it will never work the way it was before? In this video, I will show you which is the most correct way for you to transport the refrigerator. I'll take away all the myths. You can lie down, you can't. Is there a right side or not? How long should I wait to turn on my refrigerator? If you have any doubts about transporting your refrigerator, you can be sure. In this video, I will clarify all step by step so that you do not lose your refrigerator in a transport. So stay with me, and in the end, I'll show you a mistake I made. Serious. Despite working years in refrigeration, I made a fatal mistake that almost lost my refrigerator. So if you want to know the mistake I made and you won't make, stay until the end, because this video is going, your refrigerator and you do not want to have damage here, I will teach you all the essential step by step so that you do not damage your refrigerator at the time of change and at the time of transport. Did you know? One of the most common causes in the refrigerator is that it stops working after a change. That's right, it's a more common defect, but do you know why? For lack. From proper transport in your refrigerator, perhaps you will change or have already changed and your refrigerator is no longer the table. So, to avoid this damage and ensure that your refrigerator will work much longer and there will be no damage to the destination of your new home where you go, guys, I will teach you. Guys, it's you turn off your refrigerator in advance, is that right? Maybe it's something simple, but very important, all right? Turn off the refrigerator at least a few hours before transport. This waiting time will help stabilize the gas system in your refrigerator's cooling system. And with that, I'll tell you the real thing. The components, the compressor, they'll cool down and have less chance of suffering damage. Is that right? So, the importance of you turning off your refrigerator in advance is very important for the transportation of your refrigerator. And another important thing as well, remove all the food from inside your refrigerator because maybe at the time of transport it will start to melt everything inside your refrigerator and can arrive in place at the destination. And the refrigerator smells bad, right? So it's good for you to withdraw too. All the shelves, these shelves here so as not to damage anything personal. So take out all the shelves, take out the drawer if you don't want to take a loss, especially if your destination is in another city, somewhere else, very long transportation. It's always good that you take out all the drawer shelves because you only give value to those who lose a shelf like that. You know how much a shelf like that is, understand? So if you are going to make this change, first thing, turn off the refrigerator in advance, remove all the food and remove all the shelves so you don't have any damage. All right, now let's go with this one. You can put the fridge out or you can't. John explains more about this. I will reveal here some of the myths or doubts that many Brazilians have when it comes to putting out the refrigerator can. I want to explain to you a very important thing that perhaps you have never heard anywhere. What happens? Oh, pay attention. The refrigerator, it works with this compressor here. Oh, here is a good compressor. Here is the box, the reservoir. Where is the water here? Oh, this compressor here works with oil inside it. Okay? What's going on? When you are going to put the refrigerator aside or are you going to put the refrigerator backwards, what happens to this oil that is inside the compressor? When you lay down, everything starts to go inside this pipe here because you just laid down the refrigerator. And what happens? It enters through this pipe and it will stop many times here. Oh, in this filter here, the oil stops here inside this filter. And by the time you turn on the refrigerator no longer works because you dumped it and the oil stopped inside the filter. And the filter is completely clogged, so it won't pass the gas into that capillary and it won't go up there in the freezer, okay? So which is the myth and which is the truth? John, the right thing, guys, is that you don't dump the fridge, okay? It's not because I often see people saying John can't put the refrigerator out because of the gas, because it spoils the gas. No, it has nothing to do with the gas here. If you can't empty the refrigerator because of the oil in the compressor, because this oil will leak into this pipe, and when you turn on the refrigerator, the gas system will not pass through the filter and will not go up there to the freezer. And often you end up losing the refrigerator because you don't know how to lay the refrigerator in the right way. John, I have no escape. I have to put the refrigerator down because my transportation system won't allow it to go standing up. Okay, I'll give you a tip. The first tip I'll give you, always keep the refrigerator tilted. You see here, I'm going to tilt her. Oh, you see? Leaves it always tilted, not completely. Tip to the side or back, because this will help the oil that is inside the compressor not drain into the refrigerator system and also not clog the filter part. So this is one of the most important tips for you to transport the refrigerator in a safe way. Leave the refrigerator tilted so you don't take risks, okay? Remember that the most correct way is to carry the refrigerator standing up. So guys, this is the first tip. John, what if I need to tip her over to see if I can get her in a car or not? You'll always have to tip the refrigerator. Guys, a very important tip, never tip the refrigerator over. Never tip the refrigerator on the filter side. Always tip the refrigerator on the other side, always. Because normally this part here, is the freezer part, so it's the capillary part. You see, that's the capillary here. What happens when you fall on the side of the freezer, which is the bottom part? This oil, it all enters the capillary as well and ends up contaminating the refrigerator system. So if you need it that it's not appropriate to need to tip her to the side to transport her inside a car, you always tip her not to the side of the filter, to this side, like, you're going to tip her to this side. Lying down, you're never going to tip her to that side, okay? Because this one, you'll take less risk of losing your refrigerator, okay? So one way I found is not correct, but you can take it, is to do this. So this tip is very important, okay? So myth to reveal myself here, guys, is this. John, if I put the refrigerator down, do you have to wait for the gas to go down, or what's the problem here? The problem is not the gas. The problem will always be the compressor oil that will ruin your refrigerator. This here is very important. From now on, you should already subscribe to the channel. Leave your like to become a member of the channel to help and repair refrigeration, and also participate in my last training where I will teach you to earn 3,000 to 10,000 BRL by repairing refrigerators. Is that right? I will tell you the truth and I will deliver for real. You're not paying John anything. The only thing you will need is to click on the link that is in the description and comments. Okay? So the myth of emptying the refrigerator is not a gas problem. It's a compressor oil problem. Now another myth, another step, John. How long do I have to wait to turn on my refrigerator? My refrigerator was transported standing up. Safely enough, I can get there and plug it in right away. A tip from Effrotar Refrigeration. And usually wait 2 to 6 hours. Then you'll talk, John, but the engine didn't tip over or anything. But when you went to put it inside the truck, inside the pickup truck or somewhere, you had to do that little tipping. So for you not to take personal risk, please wait 2 to 6 hours to call. Even if it wasn't tipped, just to ensure that all the oil that was inside the system went down to the compressor again, so as not to take the risk when turning on the refrigerator, it won't freeze anymore. Okay, John? Okay, but my refrigerator tipped over. I took it in the car. I did shit. I hadn't watched your video. And now I want to know how long should I wait when the refrigerator tipped over? I'll point you in. Wait 6 hours to 24 hours for you to call her? Why? Because you have to wait. Oil is a coarse ore, so for it to drain, for it to come back, It's all for the compressor. It will take a while, so wait as long as you can. Wait 24 hours again for you to turn on the refrigerator and not risk having oil in the system, and you take damage. All right, guys, now is the moment of truth. What kind of protection should I do when I'm going to load my refrigerator? I'm going to another city. I'm going to put it inside the truck. I'm going to do something that could compromise the useful life of my refrigerator. What can I do? The first personal thing you have to do, and I'm going to show you the shit I did. I'm teaching you, but we are human beings and we make mistakes. Only through my mistakes I will teach you dwarfs to commit. I have 10 years already working in refrigeration. This has never happened. I'm going to leave the video for you to see, but because of my fault or because of something that I failed to do, this shit happened in the refrigerator here. So the first thing you have to do is put a blanket, put cardboard, so you don't hurt the paint, so you don't scratch, so you don't hit anything. Because depending on how far you go, you will destroy your refrigerator. So put a thick blanket, put a cardboard, put some plastic, put anything that will keep her safe so she won't be banging on anything. Why? Oh, the material of the refrigerator is fragile. So if it happens to crash or fall, what will happen? This from here will totally damage the fridge. And what happened in my transport, you can already see here. Oh, I'm going to leave the video. What a mess I made in transporting this refrigerator. Normally, I always tie it up a lot. I pass 2 ropes to avoid this risk. But that day I was in a hurry. I wanted to do something fast. I say speed is the enemy of perfection, and I ended up passing a thin string that happened in the middle of the road. She fell over and hit the corner right into the truck. Oh, you crushed everything.
Thoughts on the project?
Man, the project it went down the drain.
Again, time wasn't done well and didn't use cardboard. Hold us so far, look here where we are.
Now, or I sell it this way that I work with a concert, which is mine. Imagine if it was the customer's and it's mine, or I change the door, take another refrigerator that has the same door and put it in place just so it doesn't stay in my hand and just so I don't lose the refrigerator. That's what I tell you. First thing, put plenty of blankets on. Another thing, tie the refrigerator tightly, tied securely, effectively so you don't get into an accident and don't crash anyone out there in the middle of the road. All right? Imagine if this refrigerator of mine had fallen in the middle of the road. What would have happened? Look at the shame. Look at the loss I've already had. Thank God nothing happened. It was nothing. What right? Oh, did you hurt anyone? But I'm teaching you something that I don't want you to make that mistake, okay? What do you think about this mistake that I made, Joel? Is normal? It's not normal. You were inattentive. You can criticize. You can tell the truth about this shit that I did here as a myths and truth topic, Joel. When I go to transport my refrigerator, I didn't fall over. She already carried out the transport correctly. I'll arrive and I'll call it's not a myth. It won't go because of these ideas from people who transport. I've already arrived. I'm a freight forwarder. I've already arrived. I've already called. I've never had a loss. 1 hour you'll have a loss. So it's better to nip the evil in the bud. Okay? So this one is not correct. It's not right. It's nothing, John. It's normal. I've also knocked over the refrigerator several times. I have already arrived and turned on the refrigerator at the same time, and I have never had a problem with refrigerator. Don't do that. This is also another thing that will cause you to suffer losses, overturn the refrigerator, lie backwards, lie forward. You can't. So don't make this mistake, because this mistake can cost you 1,000 BRL, 2,000 BRL, John. I can tip her backwards, man. It can't be the way I least recommend toppling it. If you have to tip over, it's backwards O. Backwards you can't either. You tip over to the side I taught you, or you don't tip over if you take it tilted, always tilted. Because you better take it tilted than tipping a fridge. Well, John, I tip my fridge, and now I have to wait for the gas to come down? No, no, no. You have to wait for the engine oil to go down. So it fits with this myth that this madness of thinking that it is the gas that has to go down, it is the gas that spoils, it is the gas that leaks, it is the gas that swings. Don't forget, from now on you will be getting information from a professional, from a guy who understands. Then you have to understand something, don't you? You have to wait for the gas to go down. You have to wait for the compressor oil to come back into the compressor so as not to attack any internal parts of your refrigerator. The important tip of a professional: arrived, transported your refrigerator, turned on your refrigerator is on, waited for the right time, did everything right. John, my refrigerator hasn't turned off yet. What's going on? Did she ruin it? Did you have a problem? No. The whole fridge. She has time. As long as it doesn't cool the whole environment, all the food, it won't shut off. Refrigerator won't turn off if it doesn't reach the correct temperature, okay? So some refrigerator models will take up to 24 hours to turn off for the first time. Why? Because the refrigeration system is returning to normal. So usually her first shutdown will take a long time. So don't get that paranoia. My refrigerator is broken, it won't turn off. I just turned it on 8 hours ago. Let it work for 24 hours so you can reach a conclusion normally, guys, too, when you arrive with your refrigerator there. If you need the refrigerator faster, you increase the temperature here. Oh, put it to the maximum, because this here will help the refrigerator work much harder. Understand? It spends a little energy. It spends, but it increases at most. It reaches the temperature. It's about 30 degrees there. Yours, your city. Put it in the medium. It's cold. Put it at least okay. So this is the personal tip. Wait at least 24 hours for it. Turn it off for the first time. Put it in the pack so it can really work to freeze all the food. If it's about 30 degrees, 33 degrees, put it in the medium. And if it's always in the cold season, at least put it in the 1. Okay? So that's the tip for Fatar F generation. That's it, guys. Today I showed you everything you need to transport a refrigerator correctly, okay? From preparations to myths and truth. Above all, whether to put the refrigerator or not to put it down. And don't forget, folks, if you need to lie down, wait a few hours to make sure the compressor oil comes back in place, okay? Do not forget this, and if possible, always keep the refrigerator upright during transport so that you do not have a problem with your refrigerator. Now, I want to ask you if these tips were helpful to you. Don't forget to let your personal share the video with friends, family who are in need of this knowledge. Okay? And if you have any questions here, leave it here in the comment, and I will answer all the questions you have about this. Okay, God bless you. Good day, good night. I don't know where you're watching from, but one thing I tell you, that God always